side where they have stopped those two inside players they were concerned about. Also 31 turnovers at Indiana State in the loss. The Bulldogs only 10 turnovers in that first half. They've also out-rebounded Indiana State, picking up 29 rebounds in that first half of play. So two areas Lisa Bluter was concerned about. The Bulldogs have done well in half number one.
With Kristi Kinney and Tricia Wakely both getting 2 fouls each, we had a chance to see a lot of ball players. Let's look at the stats here for a moment. I'll get back with that question.
Well, I think one of the big stats that jumps out at you is the shooting from the field. Drake shooting 51% in that first half. Indiana State just 28%. Now that's even below their average for a team that averages 36% in conference play. They held in there with the free throws to Indiana State in that first half. They were 9 of 11. That really is what's keeping them in this game.
Indiana State with the basketball here. 19 just underway, 19 minutes to go in this ball game, and that's the three-pointer from the outside.
Hazel Olden, she hit one in the first half and starts half number 2 with another 3.
I was going to mention, Todd, Bulldogs had an opportunity to see a lot of bench. Think we'll see that much here in the second half?
It kind of depends on how the game goes, but I think Lisa Bluter trying to keep her frontline players fresh, and that's a good way to do it.
Peyton from the free throw line, who was also in double figures in the first half of the 11. This is the shot from the line. Here comes the Sycamores. Well, Holden with the basketball. Quick shot by Indiana State. Boy, we saw that in the first half. Didn't really work a lot of half-court offense.
Nicole Fry was one of the offensive surprises in that first half. Here's the way the game started with Kristi Kinney running the 4.
And, boy, that's where she got a lot of her points inside of the paint on the fast break. Ball knocked away. It'll be Bulldog basketball. Well, Bulldogs with Peyton in there, Wakely, Hennigan, Kinney, and Ritkers, but we saw about everybody off the bench. Back outside to Dia Peyton. Over to Ritkers. 1 minute gone in the second half. Hennigan open inside to Kinney. There you go. She couldn't get it back outside. Looked to the bucket, takes it 2 there. Probably what Kristi Kinney does the best, take that ball to the bucket.
The one thing you can't do, and I'm sure Kay Reek's going to tell her team, when you double down on Kristi Kinney, you cannot leave, because once you leave, that post player is exposed, and she can roll into the lane. You see the double team, it leaves. Kahn just takes one step inside the lane. That gives Kristi Kinney the alley she needs to take it to the glass.
Kinney to the line where she's 3 of 5. Free throw up and good. And Kristi Kinney gives the Bulldogs a 10-point lead at 46-36. 18 points for Kristi Kinney tonight so far. Second free throw up and good. Here comes the Sycamores. See if they work a little more half-court offense. Boy, so far, Kay Reek couldn't have been happy with that first half offensive performance. They were bringing them down and gunning them up. Here again, a long shot, no good.
That's a shot you'll give them all day, because Walker doesn't hit well from the outside. She's shooting just 35% from the field, and not even that good from three-point range, only 5 of 21 from three-point range.
Ritkers from 15 knocks it down, and Julie Ritkers with 2 more in her category. She's got herself 5. You know, I was going to mention, when the Bulldogs shut Indiana State down early, down to the post, it just seemed like to run their whole game plan.
They get a lot of their points off steals and offensive rebounds.
Again, a long shot. Again, no good by Walker. A whistle and a foul on the backside. I think we're going to have a foul against Drake. Is it Nicole Hennigan?
And it is going to go against Nicole, and the crowd here doesn't like it. Tough crowd tonight, huh?
It is a tough crowd as Kay Reed gets off the bench. Got to walk. A little stutter step there by Hazel Olden and the Bulldogs. A lot of turnovers in the early part of the ball game. Then Drake and both Indiana State kind of settled down a little bit.
Well, you really feel like that the game right now is kind of teetering there, where Drake has an opportunity to maybe put them away. Indiana State would like to roar back into it and make it a game here in the second half. When you're at that 12, 13-point mark, you're really waiting for which way the game's going to proceed.
Wakely open, shoots it up good, count the bucket, blocking foul on Indiana State. Wakely will go to the free throw line, and believe it or not, for the sophomore from Minnesota, that is her first bucket of the ball game. She averages in double figures, and the 69% free throw shooter will check in to try and complete the three-point play.
It's just great offense, a great feed there from Julie Ritkers. Really opened up the lane, and Tricia Wakely does the rest.
Free throw up coming here. Wakely up and good, and the Bulldogs jump out to a 52-36 lead right now with just under 18 minutes to play, Todd, and starting to open this one up. And we're seeing more people than Kinney. Well, look at them shut down that inside of the paint.
Yeah, they're just not even able to throw that ball down low. That's where they want to make the entry, and Wakely's right there with good position.
And Kinney completely denying any kind of a pass to the other side. Look at Wakely with a big rebound, gets it knocked out of bounds.
That's good hustle. Cor Khan just kind of came in there and slapped at the ball as the rebound came off and able to knock it off one of the Bulldogs, so they're going to get the play back. But the ball back, but the Bulldog defense continues to impress down in that paint, Mick.
Bulldogs into the zone, and that'll be a turnover as Indiana State throws it over the head. And Drake will get the ball and a 16-point lead. 52-36. Our score in favor of the Doggies. They're trying to deny the pass. Look at Kinney bringing the way out. Inside to Kinney, double team. Look at that. Boy, they come to both sides. Shot no good. Wakely with a nice rebound. Tricia Wakely, who had no points in the first half, now has 5.
Again, when Kristi gets that ball inside and that weak side help comes, if she puts that ball up, there's no one there to screen off Wakely. Wide open for that offensive putback.
Pass inside of the lane, knocked away. Boy, Drake is completely denying anything inside of that paint.
Possession to Drake. And Kay Reek with her face in her hands like, yeah.
A little frustrated, I think. Tied up ball, it'll be Drake's ball in the possession arrow.
This is a very difficult point in the season for Indiana State, where they're on the road a lot the second half of the conference race, and it's a time for the Bulldogs to really kind of make up some ground and try and climb that conference ladder a bit.
Bounce pass inside to Kinney, triple teamed. Look at that. Now they backed off of her, takes the dribble and scores. They've done that twice where Kinney kind of got wrapped up. They were all falling off, and Kinney with 2 more.
And Kay Reek wants to talk it over because that's the second time this half they have left Kristi Kinney wide open out of a double team.
And the Bulldogs have built a 20-point lead at 56-36. We'll take a break, and we'll be back at the Nap Center in a moment.
If you think your education is limited because you can't attend college during the day, consider Drake University, offering over 200 courses and more than 40 degree programs in the evening, including accelerated programs for business majors. Working adults appreciate convenient class schedules and services, and Drake professors assure students a quality education. So at Drake, the only real difference between day and evening classes is the time of day.
Your friend. My friend? Yeah, the one that you said that you asked if you could say hi. Everything I get, he tries to sell, you know. Oh, what a cute dog. You like it?
Anybody hear from Bill? He called Tuesday and said he couldn't decide whether he should buy or rent.
Literally, the dog is winding around and around her legs. Like, great, a dog.
Hi, I'm James B. Sicking. You know me from the Pelican Brief, Hill Street Blues, and as Dr. Hauser. While real doctors are trained to see health changes in their patients, often friends and loved ones will notice forgetfulness first. If you know someone who's having trouble remembering things and wondering if something serious is going on, just call. Toll-free, 1-800-438-4380. They'll be happy to talk with you and send you free information on forgetfulness that may help.
56-36, it's the Drake Bulldogs by 20 right now. Todd Kim and the Bulldogs still shooting well.
53% from the field, and for Indiana State, the numbers just keep getting worse. 27% for the game. You're not going to beat anybody shooting that percentage and then turning it over, unforced errors besides.
Another turnover, that's 12 now on Indiana State. Well, Kristi Kinney certainly on kind of a pace here herself, 21 points, 24 high for this year. Her career high is 33, and certainly she had to sit out a lot of that first half.
Yeah, she had the 2 fouls fairly early in that first half of play. I don't know if this game's going to be close enough, though, for her to get a shot at that, at her all-time high.
Shot no good. Indiana State with a rebound, blocked by Wakely. Down to the baseline, Wakely gets the ball, and then she'll be tied up in the possession arrow. Should belong to Indiana State, and it will. And Lisa Brinkmeyer is going to check in for second time of the ball game. Cole Hennigan will get a rest. (56-36) our score in favor of Drake.
Well, if you're Lisa Bluto, this is how you wanted the second half to go, especially early on. You got the 12-point lead. Come out and try and extend it early on in that second half of play. Bulldogs have done a nice job. They've stayed aggressive throughout most of this ball game.
You know, we talked about the offense and different things, but boy, the defense as well really has caused problems for Indiana State.
In terms of the last two games, Lisa has to be really pleased with her, especially the interior defense. It's been outstanding.
Boy, indeed. Look, Wakely and Kinney just denying that pass inside of there as they did against Creighton, even though a good Creighton ball club. Now we're going to have a whistle and a foul, and a little help by Kay Reek instructing the official, but going to get it.
Yeah, that's going to be a difficult matchup for Lisa Brinkmeyer. I think somewhere they got switched down there, and she ended up on Hazel Olden, and that's a tough matchup for anyone.
Now she's back over to Fry. Long shot taken by Olden, no good, and a rebound back up and good. Kind of a weird. Fry got the dump ball and comes off and gets the bucket. A little pressure here applied by Indiana State.
They're trying to go with a little jump double team.
Underneath the Kinney, she's open. We mentioned in the first half when they put the pressure on, make them pay, and they do.
When you got a double team out there against one player, somebody's going to be open. If you move the ball quickly, the quick pass to Lisa Brinkmeyer turns and finds Kristi Kinney all alone after the defense reacts.
20-point lead, 23 points for Kristi Kinney. Nice knock away by Wakely. Picked back up, however, by Indiana State's Hester, and she finally, I got her down. Is that her first bucket of the ball game?
Their first field goal. She had a free throw in the first half.
Ball knocked out of bounds. End of the ball game for the Bulldogs will be Cheyenne Palmer, and Dia Payton will get a breather here as the Bulldogs with an 18-point lead. 58-40. And you can see checking out is Kahn out of the ball game, and Kahn's had a rough night. No field goals, only 2 free throws, Todd.
That's just not the kind of output that Kay Reek expects from those inside players.
Into Kinney, draws the crowd as usual. 3-4 players down on her. Brinkmeyer open from 16. No good. Kinney with the rebound. Boy, look at everybody on her. She puts it up and good. Count the bucket. She'll go to the free throw line. Unbelievable, Todd. Boy, she can take that ball to the hoop. You know, we were reminiscing about Kristi Kinney, you know, when she was a freshman, certainly, and how she struggled in the first part.
Yeah, she really did, but she got the experience mostly out of necessity with the players and the few numbers they had that year. But she really came on as that year went along and has continued to improve her game. And one area that you just saw in that exchange that you don't think about a lot is her ability to rebound the ball at the offensive end. She leads this club in offensive rebounding. It leads to a lot of points.
26 points is what you're mentioning, and that is a season high, not a career high. Bulldogs by 21. That long shot again, well, that's about the first time they've hit that long one out there by Amy Walker, and she's got 7 of the night. Pulls them back with an 18. Pressure again here applied by Indiana State. Cheyenne Palmer is going to be called for the foul.
That's a great call there because Cheyenne knew that Hazel Olden had the line on that basketball, and she just kind of screened her out and gets called for the foul.
So Indiana State will get the basketball, and Kay Reek continues to move people in and out of the bench.
Indiana State lineup replacing Fry.
Good pressure by the Bulldog defense. Boy, we're going after them all over that half court, aren't they? Good half court D. Inside of the paint, going to have another foul, and it's going to be a good bucket, good foul against the Drake Bulldogs.
22.
Now that's the thing you have to be careful with against Amy Walker. If you come out and put too much pressure outside that three-point arc, she'll put it on the floor and create something. You get caught there like Stacey Lavin did, you're going to end up getting the foul. That's where she gets so many of her points, is taking the ball and driving that lane.
I'm not so sure before she hit that long shot they wouldn't have allowed her out there, and then they put the pressure on, and she drives in and gets the bucket and the free throw. 61-46, they cut the lead to 15.
Full court pressure here.
Here's Palmer, hands it off. Kinney drives in, hammered. She'll go to the free throw line. Boy, Kinney is hot tonight, isn't she?
Some nights everything just seems to be right there for you, but I think a lot of it too, Mick, is beating the pressure because she's getting down court. The Bulldogs are getting layups. They're getting excellent opportunities at the basket, and when they do that, the way Kristi can run the floor, those opportunities are going to be there.
Kristi Kinney, the Bulldogs here now. She missed the first 2 free throws and has made the next 6, and she makes this one as well. 27 points for Kinney. And she gives the Bulldogs a 16-point lead. Back out of the ball game, here comes
for Olivia Hester.
Stewart in. And checking out is going to be Hester. Bulldogs coming off that loss against Creighton, and a nice rebound here. Kinney gets both of them. 63-46, Todd, and Kinney could get a career high tonight. And Indiana State with a long shot from the outside, no good. Ball knocked out of the man. Somebody gave a tomahawk, and I think it's going to go against Wakely, isn't it?
Yeah, it is going to be Tricia Wakely, as there are bodies everywhere down there at that end of the court.
And with that picking up her third personal foul, you can quickly off the bench for Coach Bluter, and I think we'll see her come into the ball game. And Tricia Wakely, who had to sit out a lot of the first half with 2 fouls, now gets her third. 63-46, Bulldogs leading over Indiana State with 13:40 to play. And Indiana State will set up the half-court offense. A little more movement now by Indiana State. Down to the baseline, no good. Rebound Drake. Yukon comes away with the basketball. Looks up court on that fast break. Here comes Cheyenne Palmer. She'll shoot it. No good. Fight for the rebound, and Indiana State comes up with the basketball. Down to the right side of the lane goes Walker. She dumps it off, and they'll set it up here with Olden. Three-point attempt, good from the outside as Bottoms hits her first three-pointer of the night.
Well, not many people would expect Bottoms to shoot from that far out, but
no.
Pretty good night for Bottoms, who, as we said, was an all-European player over in Brussels, Belgium. Just a freshman.
63-49, Todd. They've cut it down to 14 here. Palmer, no good. Rebound Drake. Kinney. And the Bulldogs will get a fresh 30 on the shot clock, Todd, and set up the half-court offense.
You need a bucket here to try and stop the momentum. Indiana State getting a little confidence right now.
Kinney outside, drives in. Boy, that's one shot she likes to take, whether you drive to the left and shoot with that right hand, but she misses this one. Both teams look a little sluggish here for a moment. All the way down, boy, Bluter's not going to be happy as Amy Walker, nobody picked her up.
And Walker has been a big part of this run here as Cheyenne Palmer comes up with a travel. And Lisa Bluter needs to stop the run here with a timeout.
And it's Indiana State coming back within a dozen. We'll take a break. Timeout of the floor by Coach Bluter. 12-11 to go in the ball game. Big Bulldogs on top, 63-51. Back in a moment.
Is limited because you can't attend college during the day. Consider Drake University, offering over 200 courses and more than 40 degree programs in the evening, including accelerated programs for business majors. Working adults appreciate convenient class schedules and services, and Drake professors assure students a quality education. So at Drake, the only real difference between day and evening classes is the time of day. Call for information.
There's a lot about Iowa to like. Perhaps most of all, its youth, our future. For these young people, one of the best experiences I've observed is Business Horizons. Created by the Iowa Association of Business and Industry, this exciting summer week is offered to Iowa high school sophomores, juniors, and teachers. Participants are prepared for the work world with a variety of fun, but yet educational experiences. Presented by Iowa business volunteers who, like me, believe that the future of Iowa is its youth.
Pizza on the run. This is Chris.
63-51. Drake Bulldogs by a dozen. Todd Kim, Indiana State making a run to the Bulldogs. What Coach Bluter have to say in that timeout, you think?
I think you got it. I think Lisa wants to try and stop the run right now before they get it into single digits. You still got 12 minutes to go. A lot of things can happen, but the Bulldogs right now just kind of have to regroup. They're kind of getting beat with breakdowns on defense. Walker has really hurt them. It started with that three. Now she's been able to drive in there and get some baskets. The Bulldogs need to try and get back, answer offensively, and keep the momentum at that end of the court.
Lynch is going to come into the Bulldog lineup next dead ball. Bulldogs stay in the man. Double high post here by the Sycamores, who have trailed by as much as 20-some and now have pop back to a dozen, and as the ball goes to the floor, bodies go to the floor. Going to be a travel against Indiana State.
I don't think Kay Reek likes that call. I think Stacy Lavin felt she got away with one because there was pretty heavy contact out there against Payaka. And Stacy Lavin gets up with a little smile on her face.
Well, the Bulldogs need a bucket here, Todd. They lead at 12. They go to Kinney, who's on record pace here. Shot, oh, no good. Kristi Kinney got around the defender, then couldn't get the bucket down.
That was too tempting. You thought that there was a breakdown there when you got a man-to-man against Kristi on the wing and nobody helping out, but she missed the shot.
12-footer, no good. Rebound foul's going to be called.
I think that's going to be Lavin.
Yeah, Lavin's going to get that one that probably she should have had a moment ago, and that's her second foul. Bulldogs still shooting well here in this ball game, about 50%. And Indiana State now in red hot from the field, Todd. 6 of 8 of the last 8 field goals.
Well, you figure sooner or later they're going to have to start hitting their shots, and when they do, they get right back in the game.
And some of them shots outside, some in. Working the half court a little better here the last couple of minutes. Half court offense, that is. Down the middle. You know, that's what's caused a little bit of an offense for the Sycamores when they can drive inside of the paint to draw that defense out by the Bulldogs. And a foul against Indiana State's Holden. That'll be her first.
A little touch foul. We've had a lot of contact, and then you see it every now and then. It's like they want to clean up play at certain points of the game.
And so
they ring somebody up for a little touch foul to try and send a message out there.
1 minute to go here in the ball game. Drake leading 63-51 as Palmer prepares to throw it in play. Yeah, the Bulldogs using the bench tonight now with still 3. Make it 4 off the bench down there. Kinney, the only starter that's in the lineup right now for Drake. Here comes Indiana State. Bulldogs going some trips down without a score here, and a foul's going to be called against the Bulldogs. Is it Yukon or Kinney?
I think it's going to go against Kristi with a reach in on the drive. Jill looked like she was going to get there with position, but I think Kristi might have reached in as Payaka went around her, and that's going to get the foul. You see it here. Payaka looked like Kristi as she was running next to her, just kind of reached in, tried to knock that ball out of there.
Ritker's back out of the lineup here for the Bulldogs. Lavin checks out of the lineup. Going to leave Kinney in with 3. Wakely already on the bench with 3 personals. Free throw up and good.
Marika Payaka from Helsinki, giving a little international flavor to this Indiana State team, but a junior on this club. There just aren't a whole lot of seniors on really either one of these teams.
No.
Mick. A lot of these same players are going to be back as Indiana State tries to take advantage with the trap, and they've got the turnover.
Got the turnover indeed. A traveling call. Now Tracia Wakely is going to come back in. Remember, working with 3 personal fouls. Yukon will check out. 63-53, Todd. We're down to the 10-point margin with 10:47 to go in the basketball game. 3-pointer outside. Oh, boy, we got a game now as Bottoms, who has been played a pretty good game so far, has 11 tonight.
And the second 3-pointer of this half for Bottoms, and their 4th 3-pointer of the second half for Indiana State.
Palmer over to Ritkers. Oh, ball almost stolen away. Peyton getting ready to come back into the Bulldog lineup. Get it to Kinney. Kinney drives baseline. Blocked from behind, and she'll again go to the free throw line, where she has made 8 of 10, the last 8 free throws that she's attempted, but they're not going to give her that shot, are they?
Great recognition by Kristi Kinney. She knows her club's struggling on the offensive end. Try and make something happen to try and get some points. Some of the players out there might be getting a little tentative, but it's up to a scorer like Kristi Kinney to take matters into her own hands and try and get her team on the board.
Coach Bluter walking the sidelines. Kinney's free throw up and in and out, no good. Mentioned her career high of 33. She's already surpassed her season high. And now Kahn getting ready to come into the lineup for Indiana State.
I'd like to see the Bulldogs go back and post her up low. They were having success when they got the ball in the block to her.
Second free throw also no good. Yeah, that last time they had to brought her out about 6-8 feet. 7-point ball game at 63-56. Let's see how the Bulldogs respond defensively. 10 minutes to play in the ball game. There is something we have not seen all night. Got the ball down to the low post of Stewart. And we, Todd Kim, have a 5-point ball game here.
Well, basketball's a game of momentum, Mick, and as quickly as you can build it, you can get it. Here it is, she is in the post again.
There's what you called for, and she scores. Todd, exactly what you said last trip down. Kristi Kinney with the bucket.
That's what's been so effective, to get her the ball on the block.
(65-58) as the Bulldogs go to 7, and Indiana State knows who's hot, and that's Walker, but she misses the shot that a jump ball called for, and it'll belong to the Bulldogs.
I think Lisa Bluter wants it over the back call there, and I think she's right. It looked like somebody just climbed on the top of Tricia Wakely down there. The Bulldogs had good position in that. Lisa Bluter's let them hear it down there on the sideline.
And she's just inside of that coach's box over there, and she's not happy, and Kay Reek now up off the bench.
Let's see if they go back to Kitty down and low again.
Try to bounce pass it in. They're collapsing in on her, though, Todd. Outside Dia Payton. That'll open up the inside if she can hit it. Doesn't do it. It's a long rebound this time, and here comes Indiana State with an opportunity here to close within 5. Trying to deny that low post pass they did last time. Long shot, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds. They'll give it to Drake. Last touched apparently by Cora Khan. It'll be Drake Bass.
Bottoms there really wasn't open. Missy Lang had good defense on her. Made her kind of change that shot from the corner that she'd hit on that previous possession. As you see Kristen Lynch go to the bench for the Bulldogs. Nicole Hennigan back in the lineup. So the Bulldogs with only one reserve out there right now, and that's Missy Lang.
Hennigan come in, I'm sure, for rebounding reasons here for the Bulldogs. They struggled. Look at them collapsing on Kinney. Drawing a triple team down there. There's Payton. Nice pass to Wakely. Oh, tries to go around the defender, had it, but then couldn't come up with it. Loose ball down to the floor. Here comes Indiana State on the fast break. Stop of the top of the key by Olden. Near side, three-pointer, up and good again. Bottoms, her third three-pointer here in this ball game, 3 of them in the second half.
And she only averages 6 points a game, and Lisa Bluter has to go to another timeout.
And Bluter is not happy. Drake leading 65-61. They led by 20-some, with a lead at 4 now for the Bulldogs. 8:20 to go in the ball game. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
Easter seals. It's about a man feeding a child learning to walk. It's about a woman going to work. It's about ability. For 75 years, Easter Seals has been helping people with disabilities live with equality, dignity, and independence. Support Easter Seals because wonderful things happen when you give ability a chance.
The ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, has created questions for employers. What sort of accommodations need to be made for employees with physical and mental disabilities? How much will these changes cost? For answers, contact the American Occupational Therapy Association. They have consultants nationwide to do on-site evaluations and help make cost-effective changes. Get the answers about the ADA from a qualified consultant. Call the American Occupational Therapy Association, 1-800-755-8550, extension 238.
Victory, Todd Kim back to the Knapp Center. Bulldogs on top, 65-61 here. 8:20 to play, Todd. Boy, the second half's taken some time here, and the Bulldogs' 20-some point lead at one point has now dwindled to 4.
Well, and you got to give Indiana State credit. They had struggled from the field at one point in the second half. For the game, they were shooting less than 28%, but they've come back, and you have to give Georgia Bottoms and Amy Walker the credit. They have ignited this team offensively, because they've gotten virtually nothing from Hester and Kahn inside, is what Drake was concerned about. But as we saw with Creighton, the long-range shooting is really hurting the Bulldogs right now.
Boy, indeed. Bulldogs, Dia Payton hitting it in there. Kristi Kinney along with Missy Lang and Ritkers. Inside to Kinney. Bulldogs going to what worked the first half. Payton, boy, she's had a couple of these that wouldn't go. This one she knocks down. And Todd Kim, that's a big bucket.
It certainly is, because you have to hurt a team if they're going to triple Kristi Kinney. On that dump out, you've got to be able to hit that jump shot. That'll make the defense react.
Ball stolen away by Kinney. Kinney will dribble down, shoots it up. Good! Kristi Kinney with the 2, and the Bulldogs now quickly build a 9-point lead at 70-61.
I think Lisa pushed the right buttons during the timeout, huh?
I think so. 7:43 to go in the ball game. Bulldogs picking up the intensity here on the defensive level as well. Long shot here, no good. Hits the lip of the iron. Lang off of the rebound. Here comes the Bulldogs. The lead at 9. Try and build it up here a little bit. Hennigan. Back outside to Payton. Open. Doesn't fire. Ritkers now. They'll work the half-court offense. Kenny to Lang. Her shot no good. Hennigan rebound. We talked about Hennigan coming in a moment ago to get those rebounds, and she'll go to the free throw line. Boy, you can see the pickup of the intensity, Todd, a lot here on the offense and defensive side of the court for Drake.
An excellent little exchange there for Drake as they get Missy Lang out. She turns about 10 feet away, and Nicole Hennigan, realizing that she's going to take that shot, just makes that break right for the basket, ends up getting the bucket. There you see, as Fry comes out to try and defend against Lang, the double team, that opens up Nicole as she goes right to the hole to pick up the offensive rebound.
Hennigan's free throw no good, but she'll stay at the line for another one. After 2 of 2. This one's up and good. 7:15 to play, and the Bulldogs back up by 10. Boy, that's a quick turnaround, isn't it?
A big 5-point run there for the Bulldogs, or 6-point run, rather, that's kind of established the lead again.
Sparked by Dia Payton, but the other end who's been the spark plug has been the Amy Walker, and she now has herself 12 points tonight, and Walker came in averaging just 9.8. And, boy, right down in front of us here, Dia Payton going to the floor hard.
Now, good hustle by Dia as she comes up. Nicole Fry tries to get there as she picks up her 5th foul, and she goes out with 13 points.
Dia Payton will have a 1-and-1 for the Bulldogs.
Well, we will wait for, as you see, Lisa Blitter on the far sideline, and Coach Blitter's been off that bench a lot here in the second half.
31, Jeannie James.
Finally have Kay Reek gets a sub in there. James will check out of the Indiana State lineup.
Nicole Fry, just one of 3 seniors on this Sycamore squad. 2 of them start, Fry along with Hazel Olden.
Dia Payton, who's 2 of 2 for the line, hits the free throw. And that big 3-pointer there by Payton a moment ago.
Well, you saw how it ignited Indiana State's comeback, and then Drake comes out of the timeout and gets the 3-pointer by Payton, the steal and layup by Kinney, and that may be a big factor as we go down the final 7 minutes of this game.
Second free throw also good. The Bulldogs now with 6:55, up by 10 at 73-63. Let's see how the defense stands the pressure. Still denying that inside pass. Loose ball down to the floor. Good hustle by Dia Payton, gets the jump ball. And it'll belong to Indiana State, but Dia Payton really losing some skin tonight. That's twice in the last 30 seconds that she's had to go to the floor.
Well, in the right time, a great opportunity for Dia to have a big game tonight, because Julie Ritkers held to just 2 baskets, and you're playing against a backcourt that really is outstanding in terms of their quickness and their defensive ability.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Julie Ritkers has her hands full. This Amy Walker's impressive. She's got a lot of quickness.
And last year, she really developed her game as a sophomore, Mick, when Hazel Olden went down. Then she had to really be the playmaker on this team, really developed her game, and it's paid off this year. She started every collegiate game she's played in here at for Indiana State.
Ritkers over to Kinney on the left side, into Lang, turnaround, shot, no good, rebound, fought for, good hustle by Dia Payton again, and the Bulldogs get the offense. Coach Blitter yelling the half-court offensive instructions. They get it into Kinney. She draws 3 defenders, takes it to the hoop, and score the bucket, and she'll go to the free throw line. And Kristi Kinney continues to play red hot. And that will be, I believe, what, a career high, won't it?
James, her second. Kristi Kinney will
had 33 against Western Illinois back in 1992.
At 24 earlier in the year against Southern Illinois, but now at 34 points, and we'll see the replay here on Kinney. Watch this.
This is just a good move right here as she takes it up, knowing that she's got the height advantage over Jeannie James.
Kinney's free throw no good, and it'll be Indiana State basketball.
I think we had a lane violation.
We might have
going to wipe it out anyway.
Yeah. 75-65, Drake by 10. Kinney has been awesome tonight, to say the least. Over to Walker. Boy, Ritkers got her hands full. They might have to get some help over to help her out. Over the top. Boy, there's a four-step shot over the top of somebody that's about 4 inches taller.
An excellent defense by Missy Lang to just put her hands up, make her shoot it over you. That makes it a tough shot.
Gonna have a foul on Walker. They've been calling it off and on all night, and Walker's going to be called for her foul. That'll be her second of the evening.
Her second, Julie Rickers.
And Julie Ritkers will go to the free throw line.
And the person you want at the line shooting 90% on the year.
Not too shabby as you take a look at Coach Bluter sitting back down on the far sideline. Ritkers' first free throw of the night. She hits nothing but net.
Well, Julie had been so red hot during that 3-game winning streak, averaging about 18.5 points, and had the off night against Creighton. It looks like maybe the Bulldogs have reacted better tonight. Of course, they're getting a big night from Kristi Kinney. It doesn't really hurt them that Julie hasn't had a big night scoring against Indiana State.
Is it what Julie's not doing, or is it what teams are doing against Julie?
Oh, I think she's going to find a lot of teams are going to design their defense to stop her.
Look at Payton again to the floor. Loose ball down there, and Indiana State will save it from going over that half-court line, and it'll be Sycamore basketball. Boy, both teams giving it all. 5 minutes down to the 5-minute marker in the ball game. Drake leading 77-65. Indiana State has done a much better job working that half-court offense here in the second half. Walker throws up an air ball, and it'll be Bulldog basketball.
Oh, the Bulldogs, as much as they've picked it up here in the last few minutes since the timeout on the offensive end, they've also done on the defensive end, and Indiana State's having to settle for some poor shots right now.
Payton picks up the dribble, puts up the shot, no good. Lang, the only one there for the rebound. She's, I got it, I'm wide open, I'll shoot it, and she has 4 tonight.
Great recognition, all set up by the drive by Dia Payton, making the defense react, and then Missy Lang wide open for the rebound.
14-point lead now by Drake, and the Bulldogs, you mentioned, picking up that defense. Loose ball, stolen away by Dia Payton. She goes to the floor. Kinney tries to save it, and it rolls out of bounds. But good hustle on the part of Dia Payton and Kristi Kinney and the Drake Bulldogs.
Number 40, Livia Hester.
Well, certainly a key point of this game. The Bulldogs, since that timeout around the 8-minute mark, have outscored Indiana State 14-4. So when you take a timeout to try and stop momentum, that's exactly what a coach is looking for, to turn it around. And the Bulldogs have done just that.
And Coach Bluter not only turned it around on the offense, but also on the defensive end of the court. 3-point attempt on the way, up and good. Boy, not much you can do there as Holden hits her third 3-pointer of the night. Timeout of the 4 here by Indiana State. It's 4:02 to go in the ball game. Drake on top, 79-68. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sure changed my mind on those National Guard people. I thought they were a lot of them in it just for that weekend money, but you'll never convince me anymore. They're dedicated people.
Picture Todd Kim back at the Knapp Center here, 79-68. Drake Bulldogs, after letting Indiana State get back into the ball game, now taking back control and lead by 11. And Kay Requan to take a timeout here and talk things over. Lisa Bluter taking a long time out. Let's take a look here. Payton now 6 assists in the ball game. Kristi Kinney, 13 of 17. Todd Kim from the field, 8 of 12 from the free throw line. Not too bad of a night's work.
No, and she's shooting 59% from the field coming in, so obviously that's going to help that percentage even more. But great offensive play from Kristi Kinney as they go with a full court pressure to Indiana State.
Bulldogs here trying to break it. They've been able to score some points off of the press. And then Payton's going to turn it over. Looked like she was going to throw to Kinney and went to Lang. Bulldogs still shooting 50% from the field, and Indiana State 33% as you take a look at the Indiana State bench. Here comes the Sycamores. Now the Bulldog defensive unit. Only 11-point lead here, Todd. We still got a game with 3:40 to go. I don't think anybody's told Indiana State this game was over when they was 21 points down. And a blocking foul here on Dia Payton now.
That's going to send Hazel Olden to the line. So for Indiana State, if you can get points with that clock stopped at this stage of the game, that'll be helpful in their effort to try and come from behind.
So as they head with Olden to the charity line, I might see a chance to see certainly Walker fire up some three-pointers, get him back in a hurry. But 3:37, still plenty of time here. Free throw up and good. Lead at 10. 79-69. I mentioned the men at home on Saturday, and then the women back home here on Sunday
against Southern Illinois. Longtime friends and foes.
Yeah, had a lot of fun time down in Southern and Carbondale over the years. Dia Payton, boy, the press causing some problems here, but they're going to call a foul on Indiana State.
When you've got a trap on like that, very difficult to dribble through, especially with players like Olden and Walker out there that are so good at stealing the basketball. You want to try and get rid of that basketball before they can set that trap. Make them move from side to side, then you can find the open lanes.
Well, I'll tell you what, the quickness here by Indiana State has been impressive. Wakely back into the lineup. Now, Wakely will be working, what, with 3 fouls?
Yeah, I've got her for 3. She picked up her 3rd early in this second half, too.
And Kinney also with 3 personal fouls as Dia Payton checked into the free throw line, and it's up and good. And Payton will stay at the line for another one. Dia with a good night's work, Todd. Hit that big three-pointer after the timeout. Now a couple of free throws. 18 points.
And that's a career high for Dia Payton, who had 16 earlier this year against Iowa State.
81-70 now. Let's see if they let Walker fire from 3. Three-pointer here attempt by Olden, no good. Off the backside of the iron. And Indiana State out hustling them over there, gets the rebound. Get a fresh 30 on the shot clock. They're going to fire up, I think, some threes here. Well, I'll tell you, the inside's tough to go to if you're Indiana State right now.
They have just completely frustrated Hester and Kahn down there. 2 outstanding players on the interior for Indiana State just have really been held to virtually nothing tonight.
2:55 to play, and Drake by 11 now. Hennigan inside to Kinney. Oh, a little pass back out. Bulldogs get 10 on the shot clock here to work with. Wakely. Pass it off. Hennigan set shot. No good. Rebound Indiana State. Sycamore's back out here. There's the three-pointer from the corner. No good. Rebound Indiana State. Kinney looks a little tired. Ball lost. Picked up by Drake. Up court pass to Ritker's got a 4-on-1 right now. Goes to Payton, give and go. Wakely knocked it out of bounds. Will be a foul call. Well, Bottoms probably did the right thing and was wide open. Fouls her, and she'll send her to the line.
It saved a sure layup at that point.
Both teams look a little sluggish, don't you think, Todd? They've really battled here with 2:16 remaining.
And the pace kind of going back and forth. Hard play from both teams here in the late stages.
Wakely's free throw is good. 6 points for Tricia Wakely. Would have been interesting to see Wakely play most of the game. She was playing some tough defense in the first part. 7 for Wakely now. She's really improved defensively.
And that so many times is the end of the court where the young players need the most improvement is on the defensive end. A lot of them have great offensive skills, but when you go out and have to defend somebody, it can be very difficult.
A little different story, yeah. And Nicole Hennigan picks up the foul, and that'll be 4 on her. Well, a timeout of the 4 here for the Bulldogs. We have 2:08 to go. We'll be back with the final couple of minutes of basketball. It's Drake on top, 83-70. Back in a moment.
If you think your education is limited because you can't attend college during the day, consider Drake University, offering over 200 courses and more than 40 degree programs in the evening. including accelerated programs for business majors. Working adults appreciate convenient class schedules and services, and Drake professors assure students a quality education. So at Drake, the only real difference between day and evening classes is the time of day.
Your friend.
My friend?
Yeah, the one that you said that you asked if she could say hi. Everything I get, he tries to sell, you know.
No.
Oh, what a cute dog. You like it?
Anybody hear from Bill? He called Tuesday and said he couldn't decide whether he should buy or rent.
Literally, the dog was whining around and around her legs. Like, great, a dog.
Hi, I'm James B. Sicking. You know me from the Pelican Brief, Hill Street Blues, and as Dr. Hauser. While real doctors are trained to see health changes in their patients, often friends and loved ones will notice forgetfulness first. If you know someone who's having trouble remembering things and wondering if something serious is going on, just call. Toll-free, 1-800-438-4380. They'll be happy to talk with you and send you free information on forgetfulness that may help.
Picture of Todd Kim back at the Knapp Center here. Todd, 83-70. Bulldogs building a 13-point lead as one of the young fans looking on up in the rafters over there. 2:08 to go in the ball game, and the Bulldogs here with a 13-point lead.
And really, Mick, it's Drake's game to win now. Just make sure you hang on to the basketball. Don't turn it over. Give up easy baskets, and convert your free throws. That's going to be what it takes to wrap this one up.
Holden's free throw up and good, and it'll make a 12-point ball game out of it. Well, Kristi Kinney with a career high and outstanding performance by her tonight after a 45-33 lead, and give her credit to Indiana State, who made a ball game out of it here in this pulled within 5.
Well, I think Kay Reek on the whole is not going to be pleased with the way her club played tonight, yet they didn't quit. They could have folded their tent and just thought about going to Omaha to play their next game, but they didn't do that.
Ball almost stolen away here. Loose ball picked back up. Indiana State picking up the defense. The pressure, Peyton shot no good. Indiana State with the basketball. Kinney knocked it away. And it'll be Indiana State basketball here in front of us. Well, 11-point ball game. A quick bucket will bring it back within 9 here, Todd, with 1:49, but still a pretty good lead with 1:48.
Yeah, that's a long way to go for Indiana State because they're going to have to start fouling here.
I still think it's Drake's game, as you mentioned, to win it or lose it here. Shot by Walker up and good. Boy, I'll tell you what, I don't think Kay Reek can be unhappy with her play.
She has done an excellent job. Got the outside shot going tonight. That's where she struggled from, but tonight got it down.
Loose ball picked back up here underneath the bucket. Shot blocked by Wakely, and Tricia picks up the basketball, and then a pushing foul is going to be called against Indiana State. Number 40, Hester.
Excellent play by Tricia Wakely as she goes up to block the shot of Bottoms and then is able to hustle and get the loose ball. Now she'll get some free throws out of it.
Brinkmeyer will come out of the ball game, and Hennigan will check out. Drake leading by 9 at 83-74 with 1:21 to play.
And Lisa Brinkmeyer comes in for the free throw shooting at this point.
And Wakely will go to the free throw line. And the free throw up and good. Wakely's stats, I don't think really, Todd, are going to show what a nice job she's done defensively in there when she's been able to play without foul trouble.
And that was one of the big keys for her coming into this game, playing Hester and Kahn down on the inside. Some early steals by Tricia Wakely seemed to really get Indiana State out of sync and push their offense out to that three-point arc, and they just didn't shoot the ball well.
85-74, long three-pointer, no good. Loose ball knocked around, picked back up by Brinkmeyer. Brinkmeyer pull over the court to Ritkers, and they'll bring it up, and Indiana State's just playing all-out defense right now, wherever the basketball is going to be. Ritkers over to Wakely, a minute to go, and Drake should have this one into the W column, and the way Coach Bluter wanted to start the weekend was with a win, and try and pick up some wins here to try and host one of those postseason ball games.
And Lisa Bluter said it yesterday. She considered both of these games, tonight's against Indiana State, Sunday against Southern Illinois, as must-wins because those are two teams that if they want to finish fourth in the conference, they're going to be right there with. You've got to pick up home wins against the teams you're fighting with.
Boy, indeed, Wakely making the free throws, makes this one and gives the Bulldogs a 12-point lead. Second free throw up and good. 87-74. The lead goes to 13 with 55 seconds to play. Well, they get it inside of the paint, but that's been one of the few times. And Brinkmeyer, for the most part, did a pretty good job. Kinney did a pretty good job defensively, and now she's going to be called for the foul, and that's her fourth.
The basket is by number 40,
her fifth.
Hester. The foul on 41, Kristi.
That's going to be 4 on Kristi, but Livia Hester, just her second field goal of the game. And Cora Khan still without one. You see the good entry pass there. Kind of a tough pass, and Hester makes it, and then a little shove after the play.
I guess I didn't see that when it was live.
Well, I think they called the foul, though, on the shot, didn't they? She's only getting one free throw out of it. Nope, they're going to call it after the shot.
Indeed they are. Free throw up and good. 87-77, the lead at 10 now. Hester with only 6 points tonight. Drake's done a nice job defensively on her. Make it 7 in the lead at 9.
Well, what a bully, huh?
Boy, I tell you, kind of surprised me about Kristi Kinney. Now a foul. Here's a final in women's play. It was Bradley over Northern Iowa, 73-53 tonight. Tough one for the Panthers.
Kristi Kinney will shoot 1 and 1.
We will make the walk, and Kristi Kinney will continue to try and build on her career high.
Well, really set the tone early, Mick. Those layups off the fast break, getting the ball out quickly. And boy, as a scorer, if you can get some easy baskets early, it really seems to get you into the rhythm of your game.
Kenny on the lead pass up there to that fast break earlier. You'd got to believe that Bluter saw something that was able to see on tape or something, and then able to.
Oh, it all starts with a defensive rebound.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You get those rebounding, you get the rebounds, you can get out and run the ball. And that was an area they concentrated on because they gave up the 21 offensive boards in Terre Haute. A big reason for their 9-point loss.
11-point lead here with 37 seconds. 3-point attempt by Indiana State, no good. They get the rebound, take it to the hoop, no good. Rebound Indiana State. They put it up, no good. Loose ball picked up again by the Sycamores momentarily and knocked it out of bounds by the Bulldogs. So with 26 seconds remaining in the basketball game, the Drake Bulldogs leading here by 11. Having trouble getting it in play. On the out front here to Olden. Walker, she'll probably fire. Can't get it off. Peyton there defensively, 18. Now the heave and a hoe, no good. Wakely had a ball for momentarily, and Kinney gets the rebound, and she's fouled. She'll go to the line. 14 seconds to play, and the Bulldogs able to put a W in the W up here.
And I guess it's only fitting that Kristi Kinney should go back to the line one more time. What a night for the junior out of Jefferson.
Indeed. 89-78 our score. Kinney with 36 points, a career high. 14 seconds is what remains.
Oh, this is an excellent performance. That was a disappointing loss to Creighton the other night, but I think the Bulldog coaching staff did a good job of getting this team ready to play, getting them focused on the task at hand, seeing that, you know, an 8-8 record in conference play, Mick, could get you a home court first-round game in the tournament at 8-8. It did a year ago for the Bulldogs, so still plenty of work to do, but you just can't afford to drop another one at home.
And how important that would be to play at home here. 38 points for Kristi Kinney. 12 seconds to go here in the basketball game. 91-78 score. Bulldogs on top. Walker's shot no good. 5 seconds. Wakely hands it off to Ritkers. Looking down forward to Kinney. Kinney hands it off to Peyton at the buzzer. They will not count the bucket of even if it goes down. But that is the ball game, and the Bulldogs get away with a 91-78 victory here as Lisa Bluter and Kay Reek go to the mid-stripe here and shake hands. And Todd Kim, Kristi Kinney, pretty well the story. 38 points in the basketball game, and the Bulldogs come away with a win.
And the Bulldog defense, excellent down in the paint. Cora Khan held to just 2 points. That's 11 below her average. And Livia Hester held to just 2 field goals and 7 points in the night. So the Bulldogs do it with the defensive rebounding. They controlled the rebounding. They controlled the paint area. And then that allowed Drake to really set up the running game. And it was Kristi Kinney's night. 38 points really did the job for the Bulldogs on the offensive end.
I think we'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.
If you can't attend college during the day, consider Drake University, offering over 200 courses and more than 40 degree programs in the evening. including accelerated programs for business majors. Working adults appreciate convenient class schedules and services, and Drake professors assure students a quality education. So at Drake, the only real difference between day and evening classes is the time of day. Call for information.
Victory, Todd Kim back at the Knapp Center. Final score, 91-78, Todd. The Bulldogs wanting to pick up a win here, now trying to pick up another one maybe on Sunday, and the Bulldogs looking good in this one. If we give credit to Indiana State, Kay Reed got her team back in this ball game. I don't think they played very well defensively in the first half, and she got this team back in.
Yeah, she certainly did. This is a team that when they fall down by 20 on the road, you've lost 4 straight conference games. It was a real opportunity for them to just kind of pack it in and think about the bus trip over to Omaha, but they came back, they played hard, they got back in the game, cut it to 4 at one point, but then the critical run, 14-4 by Drake, after the timeout Lisa Bluter took, was really the difference in the basketball game. A game the Bulldogs had to win. They came out and won it.
Hope you enjoyed the ball game. 91-78, the final score. The Drake Bulldogs defeating Indiana State Sycamores here this evening. For Todd Kim and the rest of the staff here for Drake University Television, Mick Dreher from the Knapp Center wishing you a good evening.